Okay, so there are situations whereby things won't go as planned, and the people involved in what you're doing, you know, do some things well, but other things maybe that are impacting how things proceed. So how would you approach that? Again, there's never one solution to a problem. So the best thing to do in situations where you need to deal with some items that are not going well, again, going back to this one-on-one, it's never going to be easy because pointing out somebody's weaknesses is very hard to do. So how does that work? So the best approach is, you have to look at the global work or whatever they're doing. It can't be just pinpointing one thing, because that's not the person. The person is a whole, or he or she is a complex individual, and things are never so black and white. So how do you approach it? Basically, if your situation is you have to reproach a person, or not necessarily reproach, but you want things to improve. So in my experience, the best way to approach that is, you sit down with the person one-on-one, and you're not going to talk all. You just present what you're there to do. Give them an idea. Well, tell them, look, we're here today to just discuss how things have been going in the project and your intervention. And normally the best way to start is, I've seen you've done, and you read out maybe a list of things you've seen that they have done well and have achieved, how they worked in the team, have they achieved their goals and the time scales that are allotted. And then you say, that's really good, and thank you for that. That's really helped the team. And now I'd like to sort of look at some aspects that, in my opinion, and again, this is your opinion, right? You don't have there's no such thing as this is the fact in terms of how people do things and working with people. My approach is, I say, this is what I see. Maybe I've helped me here to see if I've interpreted things in an incorrect manner, but this is, you present the situation as specific, be specific, is the best way. I saw this situation where maybe, instead of, when you're interacting with a team member, instead of, maybe saying this is wrong and that's not right, you could have said, well, maybe there's a better way to do things. So in a more empathic manner to how you address people. So you identify simply what you see as being a possible situation. Again, you give your impression of what has happened, and then you ask the person, so what did you see in that situation? What could you have improved there in that? So, and then you find that, typically speaking, some people, most people will say, yes, I agree, that went well. Maybe I could have, sort of been a bit more calm in treating the person or whatever, and maybe there would have been less tension. And that way, right, the person, what is the benefit of that? The person sees that they're being responsible, right? They're being made responsible for what they do. It's not just being ignored. And also that you're listening to, it's not just black and white, that they were all wrong and the other person was right. And then, you get their buy-in, which is a very simple term and means a lot, actually, that they say, okay, yes, this is, I've done that well, and maybe I can improve that, because nobody is perfect. And you don't go in there with an accusatory tone, even though there was, you can have some situations which are very, very clear, not good for the team or not good for the person or the program. So yeah, get their buy-in, and then what afterwards? Maybe obviously you need to speak if it's a case where there's another person involved. You need to speak to the other person, and then maybe if you get their agreement, you can align with the two of them together, and then to put together their thoughts, and once they've accepted that, so that way you build on the team.